By the year 2020, more than 5 million service members are expected to transition out of the military. Many will go back to college, hoping to earn a degree as adult learners. Kirk Carapezza from WGBH's Higher Education Desk reports to Engage Them, Vermont's flagship campus is turning to an unlikely ancient Greek source, Homer.
All right, everybody, we should get started.
Inside a seminar room at the University of Vermont, 6 students, all veterans, slowly page through the epic poem, the Iliad, reading Homer's gory account of the final weeks of the Trojan War.
His brains burst from the wound in sprays of blood, soaking the weapon's socket. That's really gruesome. Anyway. And then it goes from that to this totally different flavor. A world away from his homeland's dark, rich soil, he would never repay his loving parents for the gift of rearing.
After reading a few passages, they discuss some of the poem's primary themes, coming home and honoring the dead.
The world away part there.
Yeah.
That brings it home. But when I think about the armor and bringing armor back, when we took casualties, and you're putting someone in a body bag, their equipment goes in there with them.
This classics course is limited to veterans. There are no papers, no test, just one requirement: participation. UVM is the only school in the country to offer such a course for credit. Stephanie Wabi served as an Army medic in Iraq and Afghanistan. The 27-year-old from Sacramento says the 2,800-year-old poem gives new meaning to her experience.
I remember reading it when I was in high school, and it didn't really mean anything to me other than an assignment. But now it's just like, okay, the Iliad, they went to war, and this is how they perished. This is what they did for their comrades. And it's more relevant to me now than it was before.
Wabi says she enrolled in this course to find classmates with similar backgrounds.
I'm not surrounded by 18, 19-year-olds who are still trying to figure out what they're doing. And so there was a sense of community, and it was kind of like group therapy without the stigma attached to it.
While most colleges cater to students right out of high school, many struggle to engage adult students, including veterans. At UVM, reading Homer together seems to help them feel more at home on campus. Classics professor John Franklin teaches this class and says veterans see themselves in Homer's Greek hero.
Odysseus, he wanders at sea for 10 years. He's lost. He goes through a number of adventures that can be interpreted allegorically as veterans' experiences. The land of the lotus eaters, people connect that with substance dependency for, medicating for physical pain, emotional pain.
This curriculum, called Homer for Vets, was first developed 10 years ago by Dartmouth Classics professor Roberta Stewart.
It was a light bulb moment. I watched a soldier who was a very fine writer start to have troubles, and I wrote him privately and said, read Homer. And Homer knows.
Stewart tested out her theory with a book group for veterans at the VA in White River Junction. Now she hopes other colleges will adopt her novel curriculum. Do you see this as a replacement or a more effective program than the traditional reentry programs?
No, I think it's a compliment. We turn people into readers. It's not my wisdom. It's Homer's wisdom.
UVM student veteran Keith Roy agrees. He recently retired after 34 years flying helicopters in the Army and says he signed up for this class for camaraderie with other veterans.
It's easier hanging out with a couple of veterans who have something very similar with you.
So you like the fact that it's limited to only veterans?
Absolutely. We talk about the Iliad, and we also relate it to our previous lives and some of our experiences in the military. It's therapeutic, I think.
Therapeutic and timeless. Kirk Carapezza, WGBH, Boston's local NPR.
And then Hector tries to drown him, and then the guy, the adopted father.
You can hear Kirk's extended interview with Dartmouth Classics professor Roberta Stewart online at oncampusradio.org. This story was edited by Ken Cooper. Our higher education reports are a collaboration with the Forum for the Future of Higher Education and made possible with support from Lumina Foundation and the Davis Educational Foundation. This is WGBH Radio.